Happy Friday morning, Carolina. I'm Evan Newton.
And I'm Corey Michael Peeler.
And I'm Ward Jollis.
Coming up this morning, find out what lawmakers are doing today to prevent another government shutdown.
And there is a fix for a bug in the new Apple update, and we have the details.
It's been a beautiful week here in Columbia, but how's your weekend going to be looking? Later, we'll have a look at your weekend forecast.
And later, your Feel Good Friday story of the week. A new initiative made an impact all over campus this week. Stay tuned to find out which one.
All that and more coming your way on Friday Morning Live.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio. Feel good. Feel informed. Feel Friday. This is Friday Morning Live.
Apple just released a new system update that includes a fix for a group FaceTime bug. The bug let people eavesdrop on conversations even if they never answered a call. The news went viral last week after many iPhone users noticed they could hear someone who hadn't picked up when they called. Apple released a statement apologizing for the bug and stated it would be fixed on the next update.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill continue to pursue a deal that would prevent another government shutdown. Funding for the border wall is still at the forefront of these negotiations. Issues still remain, such as increased customs personnel and detention centers for undocumented immigrants. While the official deadline for an agreement is February 15th, Democrats and Republicans must have a summary of the deal posted Monday. There is some optimism in both parties that a deal will be completed by the weekend.
Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley will be back in the state later this month to address the National Guard Association of South Carolina. Haley's husband is an operations officer assigned to the Joint Force headquarters of the South Carolina National Guard, and he served a tour of duty in Afghanistan. The convention will be held the weekend of February 22nd.
The South Carolina General Assembly met this Wednesday for the election of judges, but the gathering turned into a walkout of almost 20 African-American lawmakers. The protests stemmed from the defeat of two African-American candidates and their race for the judgeship. Protesters said that this was discrimination because the campaigns resulted in unqualified white candidates being selected over experienced African-American lawmakers. Merle Smith of the Judicial Screening Committee said that the newly elected judges are qualified and that they both have a bright future in South Carolina.
USC student government had the first Carolina Be Utiful week. It's been successful and the week's events aren't even over. The Carolina Be Utiful campaign is all about empowering students to have positive body image and reject negative self-talk. The week focuses on mental health and the challenges of disordered eating or eating disorders. The week started off with Mirrorless Monday, where students post positive notes on bathroom mirrors around campus. Tuesday, women and men smashed scales and smashed the new normal of negative self-talk. USC student government and student body vice president Mills Hayes made the week happen. At the Smash Talk panel Tuesday, Hayes shared about her eating disorder recovery journey. And while she's far into the path of recovery, Hayes noticed that it is a constant battle every day of evaluating her intentions.
You have to constantly choose recovery and constantly choose yourself every single day. And that's really scary because I think people think that I've always wanted to be this perfect person, right? And so I want to do recovery perfect. I want to be the perfect recovered person, but I'm not. And recovery is messy and it's not a straight line, but I'm just out here doing the best that I can.
This week has been much warmer than we have seen in quite a while. Our chief meteorologist Ward Jollis will give you a look into the weather for the weekend coming up after the break.
Good morning, Gamecocks, and happy Friday. I am your meteorologist, Ward Jollis, here to give you your weekend forecast as usual. Like I said, things in the southeast were looking nice today as those temperatures were staying like those springtime temperatures that we like to see this time of year. 73 was your high down here in Columbia and 54 in Atlanta. And look up there in the northeast coast, 59 up in Washington and 55 in New York. They were seeing really nice temperatures on the East Coast today. The southwest stayed pretty average for this time of year, 67 in Phoenix and 62 in Los Angeles. We were at 49 up in San Francisco. It was a little bit chillier up there on the West Coast. But look at the Midwest. Those temperatures really starting to plummet again today. 1 degree up in Minneapolis and 16 in Chicago. Really glad that we don't live there. Now let's take a look at how your state was looking today. These are your highs for today for South Carolina. We're at 73 is your high for today in Columbia and 75 down in Orangeburg. Along the coast, things are a little bit warmer. We were at 76 in Charleston and 76 in Myrtle Beach. The upstate, a little bit cooler than what we'd like to see, but still warmer than average. 67 in Greenwood and 64 up in Greenville. Now let's take a look at how your week is going to be looking, or your weekend. Like I said, the temperature's looking really nice today. 73 for your Friday is your high, but those temperatures really start to plummet as you move into your weekend. 55 is your high for tomorrow as those clouds move back in for your Saturday, and Sunday, 48 is your high. We really don't like to see those cold temperatures come back in, but here they come. And the rain comes back in on your Monday as well. 59 is your high for Monday. That's all I have for you guys for this weekend. Now we'll have a look at your entertainment news.
Just when you thought the Oscar host buzz was over, more information has surfaced. The Academy has confirmed there will not be a host at this Sunday's award show. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson stated on Twitter that he was the Academy's first choice to host the 2019 Oscars after a fan recommended him for the job. However, he could not make it work because he was in the middle of shooting Jumanji with co-star Kevin Hart. The Academy announced in early December that Hart would be this year's host, but 3 days later he stepped down from the job after people discovered his series of homophobic tweets from years ago.
Famous rapper 21 Savage was detained by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement for living in the U.S. illegally since 2005. Savage came into America under a children's visa and remained in the U.S. after its expiration, although he did apply for a new one years ago. The rap community voiced their support on social media, taking an issue with his detainment. Jay-Z evidently felt strongly on the issue, calling it a travesty, and hiring his own personal lawyer to assist the rapper in his release. While 21 Savage is likely to win when he appears in court, immigration issues take long periods of time to settle. Information about his release is unknown at the time.
Thank you for tuning into Friday Morning Live. Until next week, you can follow us on Twitter at SGTV News 4 for updates on the latest Carolina news.
And make sure to watch live on our Facebook page every morning at 9 a.m. for your news updates and weather weekend forecast. We will see you next week, Carolina. Forever to thee.